Lesson 1. Preview. Focus on the main idea. We use archaeology to learn about early peoples. Places: Clovis, Tassili, Beringia, Monteverde, Topper Site. Vocabulary: prehistory, archaeology, archaeologist, artifact, migrate, glacier. Terms: Ice Age. Early gatherers and hunters. You are there. Dig, sift, sift. Dig, sift, sift. Beads of sweat roll down your face. The salt stings your eyes, but you try to focus. Your hands grip the wooden shovel handle. Earlier, you trekked through the dense oak forest, where multicolored patches of sunlight decorated the forest floor. Now, as you kneel on the floor of a 6-foot-deep gray sand pit, the 95-degree South Carolina heat burned your neck. You sift through sand that flowed out of the Savannah River thousands of years ago. Your eyes search the sand, looking for little razor blade type things with sharp, slanted edges. Suddenly, you notice a sparkle in the sand. Could it be an arrowhead or a stone tool once used for cutting animal hide? This is the day you dreamed about. You are an archaeologist, and you have just made a great discovery. Target skill. Sequence. As you read, keep events in their correct time order. Studying prehistory. You just read about digging for tools from a period long ago, which is called prehistory. Prehistory is that long period of time before people developed systems of writing and written language. Prehistoric people did not leave books, newspapers, or letters to help us understand how they lived. However, even without written information, we can learn about prehistoric people and their way of life. Archaeology is the study of past cultures through the things that remain, such as buildings, tools, or pottery. The main task of an archaeologist is the careful uncovering of evidence or clues from the past. Archaeologists are most interested in finding and analyzing ancient artifacts, objects made by people long ago. Artifacts can include tools, weapons, jewelry, and pottery. Artifacts of prehistoric people include sharpened stones for cleaning flesh from animal hides, bone needles for sewing hides together for clothing, and cords and knots used to tie together hides for shelter. A location with many hard rock flint chips might have been the workplace of a tool maker. Archaeologists are also interested in the ashes of ancient campfires, the bones of animals left after a meal, or even nutshells. These items become prized puzzle pieces that help complete a picture of the past. Then, archaeologists can draw conclusions about the daily lives of ancient peoples. Artifacts tell us that ancient people hunted both small and large animals for food. Hides of larger animals were used for clothing and shelter. Ancient people also ate berries, fruits, nuts, wild grains, and roots that they gathered from nearby forests and meadows. They needed to move around in order to find a constant source of animals and fruit. For this reason, early peoples are described as hunters and food gatherers. Review. How can objects we find today tell us about people who lived before written history? Sequence. Early peoples. One way to learn about early peoples is to study the artifacts they left behind. Scientists have developed several ways to estimate the age of an artifact. By comparing and analyzing the ages of thousands of artifacts, researchers believe that early peoples lived in parts of East Africa nearly 3.5 million years ago. Working together, archaeologists and historians believe that humans moved or migrated from East Africa to Europe and Asia thousands of years ago. As they studied these migrations, they began to ask, who were the first Americans? Where did they come from? How did they get here? How archaeologists answer these questions can tell us a lot about how scholars piece together the puzzle of prehistory. Review. Do archaeologists believe that humans moved first from East Africa or Europe? Sequence. Early Americans. About 70 years ago, archaeologists found a variety of human-made objects near Clovis, New Mexico. The arrowheads, hammerstones, bone tools, and scrapers were estimated to be about 11,000 years old. 11,000 years ago, Earth was still in an ice age. During this time, from about 1.6 million years ago until about 10,000 years ago, huge ice sheets, called glaciers, covered great stretches of land. Occasionally, the glaciers grew and spread toward the equator. As glaciers spread over more of the Earth, temperatures fell. However, when the glaciers retreated, temperatures rose. Vast expanses of land then became available for plant growth and animal grazing. Review. When did archaeologists find evidence of Clovis people in America? Sequence. DK. Dorling Kindersley Eyewitness Book. The Ice Age. Archaeologists have found evidence of human life during the Ice Age. In 1926, they discovered a 10,000-year-old leaf-shaped stone point in Folsom, New Mexico. Archaeologists later found an 11,000-year-old stone point near Clovis, New Mexico, as well as spear points in the Great Lakes area and New England. They have identified common materials, shapes, and sizes in these artifacts. Why do you think early Ice Age hunters started using spear points made of copper? Improved technology. After the Ice Age ended, hunters became more skilled in tool making. They looked for better materials, like slate and copper, to make their weapons. There. Prehistoric cave art. At about the same time that prehistoric people were making tools in the Americas, prehistoric people were painting on cave walls in Africa. Many of the paintings show animals grazing or people hunting. This painting, discovered in Tassili in North Africa, shows women and children with cattle. Archaeologists believe that it was painted between about 5500 BC and 3500 BC.